Okay. Just got to get my camera done here. Welcome, guys, to another edition of Art Throwdown. It is Tuesday, August 11th, and here we are back in our usual crafting spot. Hey, Carrie. Just waiting for the peeps to come on in and assemble. Ashley. Hey, guys. Got Create Mail. I see B-Way. Okay, guys. Are y'all ready for this? Can you handle this? Okay. It's about to happen. It's about to happen. I think. Our special guest star is about to come in. Hi. Oh
Hello!
my God. What the heck is that?
I'm having a late night popsicle break.
Okay.
Hello, everyone!
Like, this is crazy. I can't believe you're back.
Well, I'm just checking in to say hello.
Well, we're all happy that you are back
That
and
I didn't
you're,
get kidnapped. Is that what it was? Is that what you're going to
well,
say?
after
Hey, Nan, welcome.
after the
Hey,
first,
Ashley, Jim.
yeah, all you people out there. I will say after the first 24, 48 hours, we were starting to
Hey,
come up with
Carrie.
theories like, what happened to him? I don't know.
Well, it's been a big mess, and so I just wanted to make sure that everything was safe. Hey, Nick, welcome. And that all of you folks that had followed me were safe. Hey, Patty, welcome. So that's why it was out of caution more than anything else, because we didn't quite know what was going on.
Right.
I just, for the sake of caution and to protect everyone else's accounts, should some shenanigans be going on, and it was in everyone's best interest that I laid low. Yes, we all enjoy the Godzilla Pepito, by the
Oh,
way.
good. My
Uh,
my older
so,
daughter
uh,
actually made that, so that's how that happened. And yeah, so for the first, I don't know, 24, 48 hours of it, I was like, is he okay? Is he kidnapped? Is he like tied up in his apartment? Was there a home invasion? Like,
yeah,
what happened? Do we have to send reinforcements? What happened?
yeah.
So,
And then I tried to keep in touch with those people who had my cell phone, like people who I had interviewed before for the podcast and things. And so that's the way I
oh,
was able to reach out to a couple people to let them know that I was okay, that it wasn't anything health wise or physical problems. So that's what was going on, and it's just been a roller coaster between
wow.
between the employer situation and this particular situation. So it's been I've kept my attorneys quite busy. So
Make him work for it, That's what they're there for.
hey, Frank, welcome.
Hey.
To just fill everyone in, Allison knows what was going on because I filled her in the last couple of days. And so what has happened is that I had a former student of mine who was stalking slash harassing me ever since I left Tampa and moved here to New York. We've actually had to go to court to get a restraining order placed on him because he was at first it was just a nuisance thing. So he would
Right.
call up and hang up, or get his friends to call and stuff like that, and leave messages and stuff. So so we went to court and got a restraining order. It all went to a trial, and the judge suspended his sentence, but told him not to contact me again. And we thought that was it. Well, for something, and it always would happen around my birthday month, around August. He would something in him would click, and he would start doing all this harassment stuff. At one point, he had charged about $10,000 worth of products that had been delivered to my apartment, um,
What?
COD. So, and I was just like, no, I'm not signing for that. I didn't order this. And so it had been escalating. but we thought it was over it. We thought we were over it. And something about this particular year, we don't know what it was. We haven't been in contact with him. He decided that he was going to try to annihilate me on social media. So what he was able to do, he has always been good at technology and being able to use technology. What he ended up doing was um, gaining access to my social media accounts and hijacked them. So first thing he did was he changed all the passwords so that I couldn't have any access to any of my social media.
Wow.
And then what he tried to do is he tried to go in and access my bank account through my social media avenues. But that's where he messed up, because what he did was, and what some of you may not know, that Romano is a professional name. It's not my legal name. So when I became an actor, I used the name Russell Romano, and I just used it for all of my artistic endeavors ever since. Well, he tried to access my financials through Russ Romano rather than my legal name, and that's what got flagged. So he tried to access my PayPal accounts, and through PayPal try to access my regular accounts and my Venmo accounts. So that was his demise.
Mm-hmm.
And so once that was flagged, we knew something was going on, and then we started backtracking. And he had hidden his trail so well that what he had done was he had actually purchased or rented some servers in Russia so that he couldn't be traced back here in the United States. So it looked like I was being uh, uh, investigated through Russia rather than through the United States.
Wow.
And we won't go into how we caught him, but we caught him, and so we put all welcome peace lettering. Welcome, I'm Russ, one of the co-hosts, and to say that. Jim, thank you for, and all those who co-hosted in my absence. We appreciate everything you've done. Um, so he got caught, and we filed all the paperwork that was necessary. And so he was picked up at his home today, I'm very happy to say. And all his computers were confiscated, and they're still being searched. And as far as we know, through both Facebook and Instagram, mine was the only account that he was interested in, and no one else's accounts were even looked at, let alone hacked or hijacked or anything like that. So this was a total vengeance ploy on his part to me. And so that's what I'm going to come on tonight, so that everyone can rest assured that they have nothing to worry about in terms of any of their personal information. Financial information has been accessed. And so he was picked. I'm very happy to say that he was picked up in Tampa today. He is in jail now. Tomorrow he goes for a bail hearing, and he is going to going to the same judge that suspended his sentence originally when we went to trial. So we tend to believe that that he will be denied bail and will stay in jail until he goes to trial, and he is facing up to 20 years on just the harassment and the breaking of the restraining order against me. And our attorneys are trying to also append and get the banks involved for bank fraud and wire fraud as well, because he tried to access financial information and funds actually from those endeavors. So he may be away for a very, very long time. So I felt a little bit more comfortable in coming online tonight to say hello. And hey, Jennifer, welcome. Jennifer, I wanted to talk to you at some point to see how your paper source endeavors are going. So I just wanted to allay anyone's fears tonight that none of your information was accessed. You were never targeted. And so you can rest assured that 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 you were never affected, and this was a vengeful ploy against me more than anything else. And so that's what was going on. Um, so that's where we are. I'm also very happy to say that he has been denied access to any computing systems while he is locked up. So that is a condition the judge has placed when he was picked up today, and so he has no access to any computer technology while, and he can no longer contact personally anybody that has access to computers or that can do his bidding for him while he is awaiting trial. So
Wow.
that's where we are. Tomorrow we will find out what the judge has said. Like I said, we have good belief that he's not getting out for any situation, and that he can't harm anyone, or more importantly, can't harm me.
Right.
So that's where we are. So I just wanted to give everyone. Um, Now that's the first part of the story.
Oh no, there's
Uh,
more. But wait, there's more.
there is more. The second part of the story is that I've been fighting with both Facebook, i.e., Instagram, who are the same people, and that because my accounts were established under my professional name rather than my legal name, I've been having difficulty proving to those entities that who I am is who I am. So that Russell Romano is a real person and that Russell Romano is me. And so, because the way
Boy.
the accounts are set up, and it's very similar to women who change their names either through divorce or who get married, having the legal documents to indicate who they are or who the new identity is. So I have not been able to satisfactorily satisfy either of those entities, and so I will, until that can happen, I will no longer have access to my old accounts.
Oh man.
But while my student had access to my accounts, it's a moot point because he wiped everything.
Oh my
It's not
God.
even there. Should I get it? Both
So the
Instagram
content
and
is
Facebook
just
is
gone.
gone.
It's nuked.
Right.
Oh my God.
So we do have. We asked Instagram and Facebook to see if they go into archive to revive a previous copy of my account
Right.
before he wiped it. So they're seeing if that can happen, and then trying to satisfy whatever needs that either of those entities would like to reestablish my old accounts. So what we've done is I've come up with this new account. It looks a little bit different. I have no face picture because we set it up so that my picture isn't available, but know that if you start receiving requests from Broadway B-Way Doorman 2020, it is me. And my name, with the blessing of Instagram, will appear as which we tried to convince them that this is what has happened, that me having a different name, but they have my real contact information and identity, and they have agreed to allow me to use this particular name, which is Russ St. James, St. James being the theater where I work. So that's why it will show up as Russ St. James with the attached to the B-Way Doorman 2020. So that is my account. I don't know how public I will be in terms of what I will share or how much time I will invest sharing things other than with my friends. I may even turn it into a private account so that people can ask to join. But until then, we'll figure all that out. But all of my videos, still very happy to say, are on YouTube. So he didn't put two and two together and didn't access my YouTube.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so all my videos are still available on YouTube, so with the exception of the sessions, which I will have to at some point upload because I have those in the cloud that I will have to download and then upload to YouTube. So those are the only videos that aren't accessible right now. But so that is where we are. So that is the Facebook, Instagram explanation,
Wow.
and then we are still negotiating with my employer, my contracted employer, determining what artistic output can be defined as. So I still am not able to demonstrate anything yet.
That must be killing
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So, but for those of you who know me, know that I'm still creating. I'm still sending out postcards, and so I'm still coloring every day. So that's been getting me through a lot of these things.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's where we are. So life is good. And hey, Lisa, welcome.
Hey.
So once again, I thank everyone for their concern, and I'm sorry I didn't mean to disappear on you, but we thought until we figured out what was going on, we thought that it was best to lay low, like you said, until we could figure out exactly what was going on and to see if any of you, by chance, were affected, not infected, but affected. And so I'm very happy to say that that you haven't been, and none of your information has been accessed. So that's where we are. So what are you working on tonight? I saw that because the only video that was uploaded that I have missed was Friday. So I didn't. Did you folks meet yesterday?
I did
Last
not.
night?
No, around 9 o'clock, I just started. I
Okay.
was starting to crash. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm good for the night.
Okay.
So
So I'm all caught up. So that's a very good thing to say.
I'd say you're
And
caught
so,
up.
Yeah. So thanks everyone, and I did not get kidnapped. So I just wanted to put those fears, allay those fears while I could.
Oh man. And if
But
any of
once
you
again,
guys have a reach to Fee or to Phil, I know that they have both disabled their accounts, I think out of precaution more than anything else. You probably, if anybody's in touch with them, let them know. I think we're good. So if they want to
yeah.
come back.
So we have been guaranteed by Instagram and by Facebook that in all of their searches for all of the people that had access to me, that no one else's accounts have been accessed
Good.
by this person.
Okay.
So we have that guarantee from them. So which is they wanted us to put that out there as well.
Got it.
So that's where we are. So maybe I'll send them I think I have Phil's phone number. Maybe I will text him. And then, Frank, I don't know if you have Fee's phone number. Maybe we could text her or do a FaceTime thing.
Worst case, it only takes about 3 days for a
Yeah.
postcard to reach Scotland.
Yeah.
We got to
Well,
take a week and a half to go to Kansas. I don't know why.
But she doesn't go to her post box every day, or she doesn't get her mail every day.
Okay.
But we will get. I will reach out to Fee, and let her know. So
Nice.
I regret that this has happened, and you were placed in fear of your accounts. That was. Unfortunately, I did the best that I could. They're on the email list. They're on our email list,
Okay.
says
That'll
Jennifer.
work.
So we can send them an email.
Okay.
So that's where we are. So once again, thank you for your concern, and I want to allay any fears that you may have had. And so that's where we are.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Knock on wood. I'm glad things
Yeah.
are kind of smoothing out for you there a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, and so I will keep everyone attuned to the goings on with this particular person, and so the reason why I was chosen by this particular person is that he didn't get into the school that he wanted to go into, and he blamed me for giving him a bad grade, and I was the one that ruined his life because he got a bad grade in my class. That bad grade was a B, and he thought that that's what prevented him from getting into the school of his choice, regardless of all the other things all the other classes and professors that he had. So he did not graduate with a 4.0. So why he chose me as the catalyst or the gatekeeper to his future, we still don't know. Diva Jane Apparel has joined. Welcome. And so, Lisa, yes, in answer to your question, I'll start reaching out to all of your accounts to add you and to follow you. It is safe to follow me now under this new account. But don't be surprised if you don't necessarily recognize the name. But it will be B-Way Doorman 2020. My name on the account with Instagram's approval. It will be Russ St. James, and they're treating it like anyone else that has been abused or anyone that's who has been harassed. So they're treating it very similarly to that. So they have agreed, and so they know my legal name, and they have agreed to this particular name.
Okay.
So that's what. So it is safe to follow me. I'll be reaching out and trying to follow all of you, but that's going to take some time. So
I agree with Rhonda, though. Rhonda's like, this is like watching Dateline. I'm like, you know, I'll do you one better. This is like Law and Order, criminal intent. Ding, ding. Like, I feel like, you know, I don't know. I feel like Jerry Orbach's about to walk in here.
Yeah.
So we're glad you're okay, man.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. So
we've been worried about you, but I'm glad you're okay.
Okay. So Zoe's here. Welcome, Zoe. I said Jennifer, Patty, Nick, Lisa,
Frank,
Frank,
Ashley, Nan, Rhonda, I saw, Patty, Nick. Let's see.
Cool.
Yeah, quite a few people here. So.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So we have 13 people, and so I was also very pleased to know that you have finally upgraded your Instagram to where now you have the latest features of the clock time and the automatic download of the session afterwards. You've noticed that, right?
I noticed the clock time.
I think that
the download always worked, for the record.
Oh, really? Because
well, you would.
But are you still doing screen recording?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, after the session, you should be able to getting
There's a share button.
Well, no, but there's 3 buttons. There should be a share to your stories.
Yeah.
There should be a second one that says, "Would you like to download?"
Oh.
And there's a third one. So the download is, you can use the download rather than the screen save feature.
Oh, you're kidding. So I could just save a local copy to my phone.
Exactly. But here's the thing. You have to do it in sequence, though. You have to download first.
Okay, download. Yeah.
And then you can share. You can't do it the other way, because if you share, it won't let you download after the fact.
Oh, okay. So that's what I apparently was doing wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
And I got my filters back, because originally the whole reason this happened was because all of my rat videos were affected. And God forbid any of my rat videos get impacted by anything. Because, like, you know, as soon as that happens, like, it hits the fan. And I can't do anything else. So it basically disabled any functionality. It would only give me one filter after a while, and it forced me to upgrade. So at one point, the only filter was like a happy sun. I'm like, Pepito doesn't do happy sun. So then I'm like, all right, it's time to upgrade this thing. So that's actually what happened. That's why I upgraded.
Well, I'm hoping that me being here as your special guest is not make Pepito mad, because heaven forbid Pepito be mad, because, you know, I have nightmares about that rat. Every time I see Pepito, I think of the Michael Jackson song "Ben." Do you remember that movie? Did you ever see that movie?
No. Okay.
You're not old enough.
What'd I miss?
Oh, it's a horror movie about rats. It's called Ben, and Michael Jackson sang the theme song.
Okay, I know the theme song, but like...
Yeah. Then the two of us need look no more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every time. Hey, Anna, welcome.
Hey, he's back.
Yeah. And just think, Phil's not here and he's missing my singing.
You know, no, and I was like, someone's missing. Someone's been missing these last few nights. And then it dawned on me, Phil has been missing. Because I knew that Fee had disabled her account, and we knew that for a few days now. But I'm like, someone else is missing, can't figure it out. And then it dawned on me, it was Phil. So, yeah.
So hopefully all of you by now have received your Sailor Russ postcard. I sent it out to everyone. I was it you, Allison, that dared me to print that?
Yes, it
Someone on
was.
okay, so it was you.
It
So
was
yeah,
me. Of course, it was
uh,
me.
yeah. So I was that was the big surprise, and of course the Russ. I still laugh every time I look at them. I see them, but the Russ. I used all of my Russ headshot stamps when I had stamps.com print up some stamps for me.
Those were
So
unique, I
hopefully,
will say. Those are
yeah,
pretty awesome.
yeah. So those are the last ones. I have no more of those. I wanted to make it special.
And Rhonda said she loved the card and the stamp. It was a perfect combo, really.
it was fun. It was fun, and probably the best thing I ever did in my life was join the military, was join the Navy. So I have a lot to be thankful for, and I just wanted to share that with all of you. And so I still have a whole bunch of those left. I don't have any more of the stamps left, so maybe I'll put a Bugs Bunny stamp on it or Scooby Doo stamp or something. So Carrie's back. I think she left and came back.
Nan says, I
Hello,
double dog dare you to do the white overall shot.
white
Is there a
overalls.
picture of you wearing overalls?
It's like a paisley overall, I think. Is that the one you're talking about, Nan? I know that someone wanted me to do the beefcake underwear shot in the,
Oh my
and I'm like,
God.
I don't know if even I'm ready for that to
You
send
have
that through
so,
the
there's
mail.
so much good content out there that you have that could be turned into a postcard, though. Like, let's face it, that's pretty impressive.
Well, I just did another run of postcards. That's what facilitated this. I had uh, when I ordered through Moo, you can upload so many designs. I think it's 20 designs, and and you can upload all of them at the same time, and then just get multiples of those. No, the glowing is I'm backlit. That's why it looks like I'm glowing.
And I'm not, so that's why it looks like I'm in a cave.
Well, at least no. The other today, are your overhead lights on? Because I know that's what happened on Friday.
They're
Okay,
on.
okay. So
I think
yeah,
it's just like my lighting angle is off, or
maybe I'm stealing your sun. Maybe I'm stealing your light.
I don't know. I don't know. My phone does weird things sometimes with that. I don't know.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know which one that is. I'll have to
The
go
white
on. Well,
overalls.
and I don't even know if I have access to that picture anymore. To be quite honest with you,
No.
unless it's in the cloud, which I have something like 30,000 pictures in the cloud. So it may take me a while to find that one that you're looking that you're.
Oh
It's the
boy.
one. Am I sitting down in a chair eating something? Is that the one you're thinking about? I don't know. Um, the white one, the one with the white overalls and your tattoos. I think I know which one. Maybe I'll post it on this brand new account to see if that's the one you're talking about. Uh, but so oh, she says yes. Okay. So let me think about that one. I don't know if I'm ready for that one yet either. But I had a whole bunch of new pictures, a new series of postcards from my photos. I think I only reprinted one, which is of penguins that I took when I went to Antarctica with the Navy. And
Cool.
so I think that's the only one I repeated in this batch. So I have a whole bunch of new postcards that I was planning on sending out to people in the group. You dropped it something. What did you drop? What are you working on? A tray? Is that a tray? A wooden tray?
It's a little wooden organizer tray for my daughter's desk. Yes, because we're doing some home organization. So that's
Oh, cool.
basically what I am just mindlessly working on back here.
So are you taking what do you are I know you got your Mod Podge out. I just
I
noticed
found
that.
a cheap bag
One of these days we're
of
going to have to
little
okay.
stars, patriotic
Stars?
stars.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Making a box. Making a box, putting stars on it.
But I of this new group of postcards, I only have two Japanese, and everything else are new themes. So I got a couple of cats that are cool, I think. I have two new Japanese ones. One which is my avatar. I've sent a postcard of the Jizo before. I think it's like three of the little statues in a
Hmm.
forest. But the one that I have now that's in my avatar is a single one. You can get an up close view of that. And I have one of um, a woman in kimono in a torii gate uh, from afar. So, but yeah, I have a couple of the Pietà when I went to Italy and got access to the Pietà. That's a whole story, but yeah, and that's done in black and white, so it's a beautiful image. I think Nan, you should be receiving one. I send all my black and white photos to Nan first to get her approval, because
Aw. She's like
she
the
is
authority on black and white postcards.
she is.
And
Oh,
Nan, I have
she's in
your
black
Frida
and white.
Kahlo up in my office too. It's up in a frame on my shelf. So very
She
special.
works in black and white. Oh, she received it today. Hopefully you like that one. It holds a very special meaning to me. But oh, good. She says she loved it. But um, and that piece of artwork. For those of you who don't know, I am a huge Michelangelo fan, and I still there are two trips I still want to make. One is I want to take a a UK trip via rail,
Ooh.
and so I want to do a UK trip, uh, and then I want to do a Michelangelo tour of Italy, and just travel Italy, finding all of the works of Michelangelo, whichever pronunciation you prefer. I fell in love with Michelangelo when I read the book The Agony and the Ecstasy by Irving Stone. And so yeah, I've always been interested in his work, and so the Pietà is one of my favorite pieces of artwork. That and the David, and so I have two very unique angles in which I took a photo of the Pietà. So yeah, and I have some neighbors' cats photos I've taken, and so yeah, we'll start sending some of those out.
Personally, I
Um,
always favored Donatello because he rocked a sweet bow staff, but that's just me.
you just like that because of the Ninja Turtles.
I just said he just rocked a sweet bow staff.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I didn't catch that.
Ah, yes. Yes. Painting the
I
stars
love
over
the
here.
Yeah, I love the David statue as well, Lisa. It's unfortunately because it's such a tourist trap. It's hard to take good pictures of the
Are
David.
people like, do people just get
Uh,
up on it? Like, what happens?
they get real close to it. You're not allowed to touch it anymore. Now they have cordons around it, but it's so huge, you know, that it's you can take a good picture everywhere, but that take an artistic picture is very difficult. Jim just finished his coloring page. He started on Friday. He showed that to us from
Sweet.
his '60s coloring book.
Yeah,
Um,
that 60s coloring book, I gotta say, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of that one so far. So I'm very
yeah.
pleased with that.
Lisa says that when she went to see the David, they weren't allowed to take a photo. Yeah.
No.
I saw these things when I was in the military, which was the 1980s. And so a lot of things have changed since then. Um, yeah, I cried. Uh, Rhonda said that she cried when she first laid eyes on the David. Um,
Wow.
I cried when I first saw the Pietà. So, for those of you who don't know, the Pietà is the statue where a dying Jesus is lying on the lap of the Mother Mary, and she's looking down at his body before, after he has come out of the tomb, before he is resurrected. So depending on how you believe, which of the biblical stories you believe, so that was the depiction of the Pietà. And so and there's just some artistic license that was taken to make it work, that Michelangelo had to understand for it to work. And so I just when I saw it, I was in tears. And so the story behind it was that uh, I was in the Navy, and we were required to leave our ship in our uniform whenever we were on shore in Navy, um, in Italy. And so I went to see it, and the museum was closed. And so one of the guards saw me in my uniform and how disappointed I was, and he got permission for me to go in and see it alone with him. And so I had unfettered access, and he was there to make sure I didn't
Wow.
touch anything. But I took probably 200 to 300 photos of the Pietà, and this is when we were still working in film, black and white film. So I took a whole bunch of rolls of film, and he was so patient. And we went to dinner afterwards because he was getting off a shift as I was finishing, and I
This
took
is
him to
turning
dinner.
into like a Dateline special, Russ.
Yeah, no, but it's just because I was in uniform, and he knew I was a guest of the country and stuff like that. And so
Tonight on Dateline. No, just
and,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, so I mean, I've always I've been very fortunate in that strangers have treated me well throughout my life, and so I've been kindly dependent upon the kindness of strangers, to quote Tennessee Williams. But yeah, but yeah, I've been very, very fortunate. So Nan, that's where that photo came from. So I'm very proud of the two photos of the Pietà that I have, and so yeah, so there we go.
True story.
So Rhonda, when you went to see the Pietà in November, was it encased in plexiglass? Let me know. I was been told that it's been encased in plexiglass, so no one can get to it. So let me know. But you know what piece of artwork disappointed me when I saw it in person?
What's that?
The Mona Lisa. Yeah, Rhonda said
Really?
it's behind glass. Yeah, the Pietà.
Boo.
Yeah, because it's so small. I don't know why I thought it was this huge portrait, but it's just a tiny, tiny little thing. And so I
What
was
is it,
just
like a
like,
9 by 9? And you're like,
oh, no,
what?
it's not even that. I mean, it's
Oh
small.
no.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Well, that sounds unimpressive. I'd be like, oh, I
well, I
came all
mean,
the way here for this tiny thing?
yeah, and of course, I mean, there are you 50 rows of people in front of you.
And everybody's
Um,
elbowing and like
yeah,
groping
exactly.
to try to
Yeah,
get in front
exactly.
of it, of course. Yeah. Crowds.
But yeah, so that's where we are. So
Indeed.
what's everyone else working on tonight? I'd love to hear what projects you're working on. Um, and so Anna says that her sister had the same experience with the Mona Lisa.
You're like,
Yeah.
what?
What?
All this effort for this tiny little thing.
Well, it's the thing is that you never see it when you see photos of it, you never
I
see
thought
it
it was like
exactly. Yeah, you think it's huge
massive.
and this is this great
Yeah.
thing, and it's I mean, I'm exaggerating, but it's like that big and that big. It's just really, really small, and so but you always see close-ups of it, and you always see it in high res, blown up kind of thing, and you never really realize how small it really is until you're there and you're like, that's it.
Wow. I didn't. Okay, so yeah, I never knew that it was that teeny tiny. That's funny.
So I'm very happy to say that the Met Museum is opening up for my birthday, just because it's special.
Yay.
So no, they're going to be opening up around my birthday. I think the weekend of my birthday, they're going to be opening up. So I'm very happy to say now I have to decide what I'm going to do, if I am going to renew my membership, which I probably will, or just go when I go and pay $1 to to go in. I want to support them, but I don't know if I want to support them to the tune of $200 kind of thing. So
I hear you.
yeah, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be working. So right now I'm at the theater. We have loaded out all of Frozen. Frozen is no longer Frozen. New York is no longer. It's coming on tour to a city near you, and it's also coming to London, which was the reason why it's not reopening in New York, because they needed the set. So they decided to they decided to close because they realized that because England's got its act together much more so than the U.S. in terms of the coronavirus, that their public entertainment venues are probably going to open up sooner than they will here in the U.S. So Disney chose not to reopen Frozen here, and so we had to take all of the show out and put it on cartons to send it to England. And then, so we have done that. And Zoe is eating dinner, and Jennifer is folding signatures. So Jennifer's making a book.
Cool.
So
and all those things count. Even the dinner, that counts as a project.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Jennifer, I don't know if you're like me, but when I get bored, I just fold signatures so that I always have them, so that I can make a book at a moment's notice. It's just a repetitive activity that you can do. Yeah, it's a no-brain kind of thing.
Kind of like collage.
No, collage, cause there's some thought in collage. Janet is here. Hello, Janet. Welcome.
Hey, welcome back.
Frank, let us know if did Frank get his electricity back? Do we know? I know it was supposed to be today. He did get it back. Okay,
and he said that he had to do a complete revamp of his refrigerator and freezer because there was nothing left that was salvageable in there. So, but I have to say, Frank was a trooper, and the other day when he had lost power, I guess he went on a generator, and then the generator failed. So it must have been Friday night. He hopped on to Throwdown, and I'm like, how are you tuning in? Like, this is not possible. And he's like, oh, I'm on my brick. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, I didn't know what a charging brick was. Seriously, I had no idea. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Frank's got a brick.
Yeah.
Frank's rocking the brick.
Yeah, exactly. So Pam hasn't sneaked on, has she?
No, Pam was taking a little break from social media. So,
okay, cool.
Which
I was going to say hello to
respect.
Yeah. I was going to say hello to Oriah. But
no, I don't think she is on tonight.
Good.
But in case she's watching us in the future, hello, Pam and
Absolutely.
Oriah.
Hi, Pam.
Because you never know. They might be doing that.
You never know.
You never know. It's hard to say.
So Rhonda, I think you can send... follow me, right, at BWayDoorman 2020. And you can send me the picture through a DM if you would like. I do wish that we could share pictures on chat feature in these live things. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. I mean, I can do a quiz. Let's see.
No. Don't worry about it.
Well, I was just about to, mess around with the buttons, but there looks like there's a quiz. I can DM somebody, or I can put a filter up and put like flowers on us. But that's pretty much it.
I don't do filters. I've never figured that out. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Carrie has re-added me to the ATD group.
Yay.
Thank you.
I only do filters when I do my rat videos. That's literally it. Anything beyond that, I have no use for them.
I haven't figured it out, to be quite honest with you, but I haven't put a whole lot of effort into it either. I don't have kids, so.
All it is that little smiley face icon with like the sparkles on it. Just hit that and.
But what does it do? It just makes you like the ones like that make your face melt and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't need that. Yeah.
Halloween is coming, and so there are also filters that look kind of spooky. So there's one that looks like a tiny little television set, and it's got static, and like you can make your face. It just takes your face and puts it inside the little television set. It makes it look kind of creepy. It's kind of cool. I tried it with
Frank
my
says
rat,
it looks like Allie. Frank says it looks like you're painting my head.
Oh,
There you go.
Actually,
There you
yes,
go.
it
That's it.
does.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, hold on, let me just add some stars
Okay.
here.
Oh, there we go. Too
Uh,
bad I don't. Too bad I don't have it to put on my head down
oh
here.
my God, can
That
you
would have been
imagine?
funny. That would have been funny. Uh, Rhonda says she sent the picture to the group chat. Oh, good. It was taken November the 2nd, 2019.
Cool. All right, I'll have to check that out afterwards. So yeah, so we're just working on a little box here. Adding some. I
Any
got
particular
these
reason for the red, white, and blue, or is that just what you had and that's what
Hobby
she
Lobby
likes?
clearance,
Got it.
dude. 90% off.
So whatever we happened to that, wasn't Ashley going to go to some store that was closing or something or another and
Oh
buy crafts for all
yes,
of us?
Tuesday
Wasn't that?
morning,
Oh, Tuesday
Ashley.
morning.
If you're
See,
out there,
I kept on thinking that you're talking about on Tuesday morning. I was going to go do something.
oh
I
no
didn't
no,
realize the
it's
name
a
of the store
store,
was Tuesday
yeah.
morning.
And
Yeah,
I'm bummed because ours, my favorite one, closed. So sad. But Ashley said she was
yeah,
going to hers, and
yeah. I thought she was going to take pictures and post them. So yeah, give me that. I want 3 of those. I want 2 of those.
I'm like, give me 5 hole punches, and I want some rubber stamps, and get me some scrapbook paper, and all the things that they sell there.
And
So
then I think, if I remember correctly, Jim returned to work at TJ's. Is that correct? I think he had some like a couple of days off for his mother-in-law. Was it mother-in-law? Uh,
yes, and
Funeral.
he's
They had a gathering, a small family gathering.
yes, and he's
Yeah.
back. He's been back for a few
Okay.
days now. Yep.
Okay. Because
Yeah. Oh, she did
oh,
go.
Ashley said, oh, it's not closing.
Well, her location specifically is not closing.
Right. But she forgot to take pictures and ask us if if we wanted anything. Oh gosh, that's so fun. I have no idea what that is.
Well, you
But
guys are lucky. Patty's location's not closing either, but I think a lot of the upstate New York locations are kaput. So there's one in the Albany area. There's one in the
that means finished for those of you
Syracuse,
who don't speak
Utica.
German.
Sad. There's one in Long Island, I think, that's closing somewhere downstate. Sad. But yeah, a lot of the New York ones are closing. And so I don't know how many of these are going to be left. But yeah.
When you were in New York, did you ever know the store Jack's?
Jack's. What kind of store is it?
It's like a dollar store. Yeah. Well, Jack's has relocated one of its larger stores in Midtown.
Oh,
And so,
really?
yeah, they are now on 40th between 7th and 8th. And it's a huge store. It's one of
Is
those stores
everything
that
like $1 or
no,
just,
it's not. It's starting at
so it's like
99 cents
like a
kind of
Dollar
thing.
General kind of a thing?
Right, exactly. But we have been out without one for a long time in Midtown. So it's funny to see which stores are thriving during the pandemic and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
And it's just like a lot of these discount stores are starting to really thrive because people are short on money.
Yep.
Especially because of the unemployment thing, is all the battles with the unemployment thing. And for those of you who haven't followed the news, Senator Harris has been named Joe Biden's vice president
Yep. And that happened like
candidate.
2 hours ago or
Yeah.
3 hours ago. So
Yeah.
it's fairly fresh news. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Lisa, there is that Jack's on the east side.
Why have I never heard of Jack's or been to a Jack's?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this a city thing?
It may be a city. Yeah. Maybe a midtown kind of thing.
Yeah, I've never been.
But Lisa, I think that one is still there. But there also, I think there's another one on 40th on the west side. So, and it's supposed to be a nice, clean store. But it's amazing how like Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Jack's, and those kind of discount stores are thriving because people have less money and trying to make their money go further. So to where a lot of the like a Neiman Marcus and those kind of stores are having a hard time.
Big time. Yeah.
But no, I was just curious because I haven't gone yet, and I've been trying to get make some time to go over there and see what I find. See if they have any craft stuff.
There you go. There you go. Well, it sounds like
Because
an
a lot of
awesome
those
store,
places
man.
have real cheap kind of party favors that you can turn into crafts.
Yeah.
You know, so those kind of things. So cool. Oh, did you
No,
score a
I
basket there?
completely
Okay,
missed. I'm not even going to show
missed.
you
Okay,
guys. I
yeah,
completely
yeah. No,
missed.
I whiff all the time on that stuff.
Completely
My friends are
missed.
like, "Were you trying to land that far away from the trash can?" You know, kind of thing. Like when I was at the
Yes,
theater.
and Patty, yes, Dollar Tree started, they got smart. They started selling crafts too. So now a lot of the Dollar Tree stores have a bigger craft section. And I started noticing that in like May timeframe because I think because of COVID, they're like, oh, hey, people want crafts to do. Yes, we do.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And Carrie says there are great sales at Macy's
woohoo.
right Mo, which
Right,
I think she
Mo.
means now, right
Right,
now.
Mo.
I'm teasing Carrie. I saw that you corrected yourself. I'm just being silly, just Russ being silly. That's how you
Macy's,
have to
eh?
say it if you're from Texas. Silly,
But
just
then
being silly.
Lord and Taylor's closing or something too. Aren't they going
A lot of
bankrupt?
people are filing bankruptcy. Yeah,
Sad.
Chapter 11. Yeah, but you know who's trying to swoop in now, right? Have you heard this?
No.
So, so a lot of these stores are trying to get out of their leases because they're not opening, or if they are opening, they don't want to stay in their lease because they can't afford them, especially here in New York City.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So Amazon is stepping up and says, "Look, if we'll buy you out of your lease, we need distribution centers, so we will
Ah.
take over your store." And of course, you know that puts a landlord into a situation because you go for rent now
Yeah.
and then have a tenant that you may not want in the future because they're willing to pay, or you try to give these stores some leeway and let them stay.
And those
Yeah,
commercial leases are long. It's not
yeah,
like putting somebody on a contract for like, here's your
right.
12-month lease. It's like a 50-year lease
Exactly. And so
for
like, and then we're
commercials.
stuck with
So,
them for, yeah, and
yeah.
all that entails. So yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, thanks. Silly Russ is better than no Russ.
Ah, geez.
Oh,
So
geez.
you're not able to basically do any crafting with your hands.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're closer. We're closer to our common understanding.
Are you allowed
They're
to
playing.
talk about the projects that you are working on?
They would prefer that I not.
Okay, that's fine
Yeah,
too.
but yeah, but we're just our stand is that as long as it was our understanding when we signed the contract that it was solely dealing with the projects for them that I was working on that I couldn't share. Because and that makes sense, and that was our understanding. Is that because what happens is this particular movie studio sends me stills of their movies. I colored them in various different palettes, send them back to suggest ways that they can colorize their films, their animated films. So I get that what I have is very privileged knowledge of films that are coming out or being worked on or being considered, 3 to 5 years down the line. And they don't want those storylines. They don't want those that animation shown yet.
Right.
And so that was our understanding. But now they're playing hardball because what they're saying is that because I also have a non-disclosure, but I also have a non-compete. And so one of the reasons why I can't work for Crayola right now is because of this non-compete, because they wanted to make sure that the designs I was designing for Crayola, i.e., samples of my coloring books, weren't taking away from the work that I was doing for this particular movie company. So in essence, what they're saying is that the color palettes, the color arrangements is what they call them, that I do for them shouldn't be used in any other media.
Right.
So I can't take a color combination that I'm suggesting for one of their films and then use that same color combination for wrapping paper. Or as an example of how to color one of my pages from my coloring
So
book.
hence why the mixology was potentially
Right.
contentious. Okay.
Right. So that's why they took offense to me doing live coloring, and sharing you the coloring pages that I've done, because in their mind, sharing with you color combinations or explaining color theory to you would be counterproductive to my work for them.
Okay. Okay. No, that
So
makes
so
sense. I
and so
respect
and
that.
that's yeah, but then they're arguing any artistic output what they and we're like
You're like,
that's
it's taking
stepping
it a
on
little far.
exactly. So one thing to say, we don't want you to do any more coloring pages, or we don't want you to do any more because I have a non-compete. They don't want me to design any coloring books that has colored samples in them, which Crayola requires, because part
Oh.
because part of their production is they'll provide samples of how to color some of the pages. So, like, for example, the book that Jim gets, and like, even if you even looked at get some of the books that I've sent out of my own coloring books, there are samples of a couple of pages to give you suggestions on how you can color the pages. So we got that, we understood, but I could still submit designs to the company that they can then sign off and then send it to Crayola. And as long as they have first approval that this isn't infringing upon anything you've done for us, or that you're continuing to do for us. So that's how I've been able to continue to design coloring books and wrapping paper because they get first approval. Jim says we have 5 minutes. Thank you, Jim. So that's where we are now. We think that they're overstepping their bounds to prevent me from sharing any artistic endeavors. And so we're just getting it, and they're just playing hardball because they can, and because they're a big studio and they have a whole bunch of lawyers. And so we may end up going to mediation to rectify this, but we think that we will prevail in our particular argument to say that no artist can share any of their artistic output if they're under contract. Seems a little bit of a stretch.
Interesting.
So that's where we are. And then get back to someone's question. My former student had nothing to do with the negotiations that we have with the movie company. That was an overzealous intern trying to move up in the company. The intern followed me and my social media pages under the guise of seeing what I was doing to see if it infringed upon my contract. And so when he saw these things, and it raised eyebrows kind of thing, and so he's moved it forward to his supervisors, who then moved it up the chain of command at the company. And so that's how this was brought to their attention. And of course, he's trying to make full-time, he's trying to be a full-time employee by being, overly watchful on what he's supposed to do. So, I get it. Everyone has their hustle. I get it.
Got it.
Yeah, but so we'll get through this, and and at some point I'll be able to share some things. It's just we don't know quite yet what I'll be able to share.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, we'll take our time with it, and
yeah, exactly. And so I can still comment on what people are doing. I can't discuss any of the work that I'm doing, but I can make commentary on what other people are working on, or talk about, what it is we talk about.
Which is like a lot of random stuff.
Yeah,
which is totally fine.
Exactly. I said, have you ever seen our show?
It's very random. The epitome of randomness.
Well, I think too that they were concerned with the studio sessions, and where that was going.
I was gonna say, y'all have nothing to worry about. I'm an upstate New York bumpkin that makes collage.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. So, but it's all good. We'll get there. We get there. So, but yeah. And it may come to the point to where they have to buy me out of the rest of my contract. I'm still on contract with them for 3 more years, and they have the option of, if we can't come to terms, they can just give me a lump sum settlement to buy me out of my contract, and which is and I would do okay either way. So I have a lot of other projects, and Crayola is still chomping at the bit to get some of my other coloring books that I've designed. I'm very sad to say that I've been bumped from the #1 adult coloring book slot by the current Beatles songbook coloring book, but I still have 3 of the top 5 adult coloring books for Crayola.
Woo! That is awesome.
But I just no longer have number 1. So, but that just recently happened. So I'm still in a good place.
Interesting.
Well, folks, I'm going to say good night.